1.
I cut my business trip short and came home early. My boyfriend, Tristan, was in my house with another woman. I knew her. It was Charlie, my best friend. I was 3 months pregnant, and we were supposed to get married. I stared at them, my mind reeling. I know I'm plain and uninteresting, while Charlie is beautiful, charming, and a law student at an Ivy League school. It's obvious who any man would choose without a second thought. But Charlie and I had been friends since elementary school, and Tristan had always seemed so decent. I never imagined they would be involved like this. I hesitated, unsure if I should interrupt. After all, this seemed like a crucial moment. I was raised not to make things awkward for others, a principle so ingrained in me that even now, with my world crumbling, I felt reluctant to disturb them. Finally, I decided I had to. I knocked on the door. Frame. Tristan, isn't this considered cheating? My voice was soft, but it cut sharply through their quiet moans. Tristan flinched and turned around. When he saw me, his eyes widened as if he'd seen a ghost. I coughed awkwardly and looked at Charlie. How long have we been friends, Charlie? Have I ever treated you badly? What I really wanted to ask was, haven't I spent years being your sidekick? Isn't that enough for you to leave my man alone? But I've always avoided making people angry, so the words came out differently. Charlie didn't speak, but her eyes told me everything. Our years of friendship were over. She was done with me, her loyal supporter, and she wasn't going to show any mercy. I bit my lip and took out my phone. Tristan startled again. He climbed out of bed naked and grabbed my wrist. What are you doing? I frowned. You're hurting me. Only then did he seem to realize his grip. He let go and tried to explain. Don't blame Charlie. I was the one who started it. Oh, I nodded, unsure what else to say. I've always been like this. When things go wrong, I retreat into myself, trying not to feel too angry or too hurt. My mom used to say I was as dull as a block of wood. Seeing my lack of reaction, Tristan seemed almost annoyed. As he pulled on his pants, he said, Since you've seen it, I might as well be straight with you. I'm in love with Charlie. Charlie looked deeply moved, wrapped in the sheets, her eyes shining as she gazed at Tristan. I looked down and pointed to my stomach. What about the baby? Tristan paused, glanced back at Charlie, and said reluctantly, The laws on birth certificates are pretty flexible now. If you insist on keeping it, you can register it yourself. I'll pay child support. Charlie smirked behind him and added, I've been wanting to tell you, even if you have his child, with your looks, you are never going to hold on to a man like him. I sighed and smiled helplessly. You both make me sound like some kind of parasite, clinging to people and refusing to let go. I looked down and continued tapping on my phone. Tristan's fingers twitched nervously. Quietly, I said, Don't worry, I'm just calling a ride. After requesting the ride, I looked up and met Tristan's eyes seriously. Tristan, since you have no feelings for me, let's end things here. Both Tristan and Charlie were stunned. Charlie opened her mouth as if she had a whole speech prepared, but now she couldn't deliver it. She looked utterly frustrated. After a moment, she managed to say, At least you know your place. Some things just are meant to be. Maybe you shouldn't keep the baby either. I nodded, said, Okay, and quickly packed my suitcase. Tristan and Charlie were still in a daze as I wheeled my luggage to the door. From the moment I knocked to the moment I left, less than 10 minutes had passed. No crying, no yelling, just my usual self, calm, obedient, and wooden. I opened the door, and Tristan called out, his voice full of confusion, You're just leaving like that?
Yeah.
What about the baby? He looked even more bewildered. I'll take care of it when the time comes. I nodded politely, turned, and walked out. Just before closing the door, I reminded Charlie, make sure you break up with your boyfriend properly. Don't cheat on him.